Yo, what is up guys? So we are going to be doing a little bit of a different kind of video. I'm going to start doing these videos every week where I kind of just dive into the back end of a brand that we own, a student brand that we're partnered with, or just any sort of brand in our portfolio. I've decided I'm going to keep doing these videos because a lot of the people that, sell a program, have a course, and all this stuff, there's really negative stigmatism around it that these people don't actually do the business model. I wanted a low effort video that I could do once a week to just be like, yo, we actually do it. And the cool thing about these type of videos is, as you guys know, I run a portfolio of e-commerce brands. We have a lot of AI built to sell brands, and we have insane results, right? Like between our portfolio, all my money comes from e-com. And I always get like this common misconception that, oh, Samir, you make all your money from courses. Like, bro, courses don't buy you shit like this. Like this is check that shit out. Little flex on you guys, frosted AP type shit. Courses don't buy you stuff like that. Courses don't buy you $500,000 trips. Like you don't get that shit from courses, bro. You get it from running a real business, right? So what this is, a couple months ago, this brand is like only a couple months old. It's pretty new. We started it together. I mainly started this store with the student because I wanted to build a case study out of it. So later in the year, there's going to be a big video that we're doing that's going to be like the journey with me and the student. But for now, I'm kind of just doing this video to show you guys a store that we run and we make money off of. So it's legit, we're legit. And on top of that as well, maybe you get some insight from it because a lot of people don't do this. Nobody does this, right? Especially in e-com, nobody does this. So off the bat, I will be blurring a lot of stuff in the brand, not only so y'all motherfuckers don't rip me, because I know people probably rip me anyway, they'll probably figure it out and rip me, because even if you do rip me, you're not gonna make money, that's not how this game works, but just out of respect for the student that I'm partnered with, right? So how it works is, this is the last 30 days of the brand, this is the back end, right? We've done around, and just so I'll refresh so you guys know it's legit, done around 400K in sales, which is not a lot. A lot of you guys know I do over $1 million a month, and I do this is just one brand in the portfolio, but around 400K in sales, around 225K in ads, 2 ROAS. We've done around 100K in profit, right? Which is not a lot, but I wanted to start with something like on the smaller side, so you guys a lot of my beginners can see the potential, and a lot of people can see like, oh, like this is a new store and it's actually making money. We've operated around a 2 ROAS. Our CPA is pretty high. We are doing a subscribe and save model on this store, and I'll show you guys a lot of the stuff throughout the video. But I'm gonna kind of dive into the numbers here, right? So you can see all the numbers here, you can see all this stuff, around 453K in revenue, 6,000 orders, $66 AOV, and as you can see, like 43% new customers, 37% new customers. So we're doing a normal subscribe and save offer on the store, obviously out of protection for the student and myself. I'm not going to show you guys the exact store, but if I could tell you guys what it looks like, it's that a lot of people know what I'm talking about. It's the normal sub and save, like at the bottom of the screen, it's like subscribe and save 10%. Very basic stuff, right? Like nothing too crazy. As you can see, returning customer revenue versus new customer revenue, spent this much on ads. We brought back these amount of purchases. Now this is a little bit under, we've done more than this. I don't know why it's 0.6, it's a little bit higher. But the good thing is when you have a good product, and again, this is coming from China, guys. So I'm gonna break a lot of misconceptions in this video. When you have a good product, right? You have a good opt-in rate, like a good amount of people are subscribing because you have a good sub and save option. This is no black hat shit. This is not like auto opt-in everybody. This is just normal subscribe and save, right? You will start building a real business. You will get a good customer basis, right? With this student, one of the goals I wanted to do was start this brand with him and basically kind of break a lot of misconceptions that people have that you can't build a business where customers come back if you drop ship from China. Guys, this brand is drop shipping from China, and as you can see up here, we have a 57 returning customer rate, right? And if I go into the loop, which we do all our subscriptions on loop, if I go into the loop, we have our first month drop off is 80%, month after that is 60, then it's 40, I think, and then we haven't seen the other months yet because it's a newer brand. But that means that people are retaining, people are staying on, people are liking the product is coming from China, and we're making money. So it's a win-win. And I think a big thing going into 2026 for a lot of you guys as well is like, how do you change your brand and how do you start a business, e-commerce store that can operate at a lower ROAS, right? Because most of you guys wouldn't be able to scale at this ROAS. Most of you guys wouldn't even be able to exist at this ROAS because it's too low, right? But if you have a product that people come back and buy more, if you have a subscription on it, whatever it may be, it's completely fine, right? So again, the CPA $80, Google, we did a little bit in Google. The numbers aren't too accurate here. Triple Whale sometimes messes up, but we had an agency we were working with. And then TikTok, obviously nothing too crazy there, and then expenses are down here, right? So let's pull up what a lot of you guys want to see, which is the meta. And again, we're gonna have to blur a lot of this stuff out just out of protection for me and the team. Boom, boom, boom. So if you look at last 90 days, we had a campaign up here, you know, NC ROAS 0.9, and a lot of the stuff you can ignore. You can see the NC ROAS is down here. Some of the stuff here is not super accurate because sometimes Triple Whale does mess up, but you can kind of see how we're launching things here. The structure was pretty simple. What we were doing is just a very basic, we switched media buying structures a couple different times with this, but we switched up the way we launch things. A lot of the times we launch it with a new CBO for each creative batch. Then sometimes what we'll do is we'll do one CBO, a campaign budget optimization. We'll do one CBO for a SKU and then just keep funneling in products in that SKU. So we've done that before as well. But majority of this brand, we were mainly just switching it between different CBOs. So each CBO was a batch of winning creatives. And I know a lot of people say you're not supposed to do that after the Andromeda update. And my response to them is suck my dick, because it works. And it does, and like if you have a good creative, the creative is going to shine through. It doesn't matter. Most people like to focus on shit that doesn't really matter. But as you can see, we were launching, you know, creatives here pretty frequently. In terms of the creative strategy, I can talk to you guys about that as well, so you can learn a little bit more. But as you can see, a lot of stuff was going up. And again, like the reason I wanted to show you guys this one is because a lot of people might look at this and be like, "Yo, the ROAS sucks." Like, you know, you guys are losing money. Like when we first launched, I'll tell you, when we first launched in this brand, we had the subscribe and save option, right? So we were getting opt-ins and we were breaking even, right? We were breaking even every single month, but we were opting people in, right? So that next month we had, you know, basically an alley-oop for high profitability because we opted all these people in. All these people wanted to buy the product, right? So all these people were on retention buying the product. So what that did for us is that, you know, allowed us to kind of suck at the ads a bit. Because, like, to be honest, this brand wasn't a main focus of mine. I'm my main brand. This is not one of my main brands. I wasn't too focused on the creative side of things, and we kind of fell off on the creative side of things. We were kind of like sucked, for instance. And what happened is we basically started, you know, flopping on the creative side, but we were still acquiring customers at a decent ROAS. Like I know like a 1 ROAS, like a lot of this, like for example, sometimes these campaigns were operating at like a half decent ROAS. So what happened was we were selling this product at a half decent ROAS. We had recurring revenue coming in. We had more recurring revenue stacking up. And this is more so of like a recurring revenue based brand, right? That doesn't mean that all brands are like this. Like some brands I run, we don't do recurring revenue. We don't do subscribe and save because it shits the bed, right? A rule in e-commerce is when you guys do subscribe and save on your product pages and you try doing MRR, right? What happens is your ROAS will always go down. For some reason, Facebook sees that you have a subscription on it and they always give you less of a ROAS. And why Facebook does this, I'm not sure. It's just kind of how they do things. But at the end of the day, this is what Meta does, right? And this is one of the things that kind of goes back to like why different strategies work, and it's really good to understand everything. But for this particular brand, we had that cushion because we had all that MRR coming in, right? Yeah, so we're break even, right? We were break even initially, and then we eventually got to the point where we started pushing like we were flopping kind of, but it didn't matter because we were still acquiring MRR, right? So that's kind of where this brand's at. Now I have some notes pulled up here. Okay, so MRR versus rev, right? Retention is good. Chinese dropshipping can be more consistent. Okay, so this is the first thing I want to go over. With this particular brand, going into it, my mentality was let's focus on high retention, recurring revenue versus high revenue, right? Because for example, if we go to this brand, let's go back to the summary and let's look at last month, right? Let's look at last month. You can see that we're operating at a 36% margin. And that's only doable because, and we only spent $59K on ads, and this ROAS is not new customers, it's old customers, because we acquired customers, we focused on consistency over our front end revenue, right? If we go to the month before that, so you guys can really understand the breakdown here, you can see that we did that was not as good. But we had 17% margins, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so assuming we turn these ads off, right? Assuming we turn these ads off, because we spent some ads here. This brand's sitting at like a $250,000 MRR, I think a little bit more. If we turned our ads off right now, we would be doing like close to 100K profit, like every month. If we turned off ads, we are making money, right? Because like, for example, last month we acquired, let's pull it up here. We barely acquired that much in new customer revenue, but we acquired like around 50K in new customers. Our opt-in rates are pretty high, like 70, 80%. So let's just say 30K a month in recurring revenue we got from last month. That's gonna compound over time, right? Because the rule is, if you have a good product and shit, around 10% of people never churn, right? So 10%, if we're at $250,000, around 30K a month will never go away. Like, no matter what happens to us, we will always have that 30K a month, and that's what's so strong about doing that model, right? There's other ways to do it. You guys, if you understand funnels, you understand how to do these things properly, some brands don't actually benefit that well from this model. Some brands actually will benefit more from just maxing out your AOV on the front end and not focusing on subscription. But this brand itself was like, okay, let's do subscription. Another cool thing is Chinese dropshipping. Dude, there's no US inventory. We put in an order for US inventory, so eventually we'll move over to US inventory. But this is completely Chinese dropshipping, guys. And that goes to show that you don't need like some crazy fucking product in the US to have good retention. You just need to, like, a lot of the times you'll be surprised how many people actually stick with the product. Especially if you're selling to a good ICP, which is your customer basis. Next thing was the ads were whack. We're trying new styles, not finding success, but it doesn't matter. And again, this is very realistic. Those stores that hit hard are rare, but this is more common, right? So a lot of the case studies, and I'm at fault for this, I'll show you guys case studies of my own of stores that are just fucking killing it. Like, $1 million a month, second month, like going crazy. All the ads are working, team's going great. And that's very common, right? That's very common. Now, when it comes to the mass majority, a lot of the times it's not that crazy, right? And to me, like what I'm showing you guys right now is a store that, doing like, 60K plus a month in profit. A lot of you guys will be like, holy shit, 60K a month? That's like, what is that a year? That's like close to, 600, 700K profit a year. That's insane. Like, you're thinking about like how that would change your life, and I get it. It would. And that's good as a brand, it's good as a business. But that's not that crazy. Like, if you guys have seen some of the case studies, we've pulled some of the stuff that we've showed with other students, like, students hitting 100K a day, like shit like that. That to me is crazy, right? So I don't find this that crazy, and I find this is very realistic, right? A lot of times the ads don't work, and you're kind of relying on other stuff in the business, right? Go deep, not wide. But when it comes to going deep, not wide, I think what I meant to say with that is we are doubling down on, the creative side of things. We're not mass SKU testing. Like, a lot of people would be in this position to where they're like, okay, I squeezed the juice out of this product. Let me go ahead and start testing other SKUs under the store. Whereas, like, if you just go deeper onto this product with pre-landers, we haven't done any pre-landers yet. So pre-landers, more custom content, trying new creative strategists, like going like really deep into it, we could honestly find more success there. And I think, like, if we hit another winning ad, we're good. Because guys, think about it like this. Don't want to be yak, but this is a good perspective to put on. If we're doing, let's say, $250,000 a month in recurring revenue right now, if we hit another winning ad, we can scale that ad at like a 1 ROAS. So like, let's say our break even's like 0.1, 0.2, we can scale at a loss, like maybe $10 loss per order. And one ad, since we're scaling it at a loss because we have recurring revenue coming in, we have that cushion, because we always want to optimize for 30% daily margins, meaning you can always spend more. We have that cushion. We can spend a lot. We can keep pushing it. And we will, at least add another fucking 4 to 500K MRR off that one ad, right? And now the business is basically tripled because of one ad. And I think it's better to double down a lot of the times and find new SKUs, but that's that. Next one is kind of the mentality of like slow growth, right? Like I just said, we're looking for a break-even ad, right? And it's slow growth. Like, we're testing a lot of ads. Some stuff doesn't work, some stuff does. But like, it's a big thing, like signal over noise, right? And I think like a lot of people conceive this in a lot of businesses where it's signal versus noise. Noise is like, putting up excess SKUs, testing this, testing that, all this BS. Signal is like, what's the 1 to 2 things that you can do in the business that would drastically increase the revenue? And in this case, it's just like finding that break-even ad. If we can get an ad to scale at break-even, we will literally triple our business within a week. And that's kind of where my head is at, and where the whole team's head is at as well, is like, what's going to be that next break-even ad that's going to kind of scale us. North Star brands are always important, but North Star brands are good. New SKUs, we would kind of base it off the North Star brand. And then, yeah, goals for this is, again, finding that next break-even ad, pushing it. I think this brand can easily do like $1 million a month profit this year. I would say probably by end of Q2, Q3, I'll probably do a follow-up video on this particular brand. Maybe I'll expose it in another video, who knows? I mean, if you guys are in Brandify, you already see all my brands. We talk about our brands all the time. But we'll probably hit $1 million a month profit by sometime this year. So that's gonna be really good. And again, like, we document and show everything inside of Brandify. So if you guys are not in Brandify, that is our community program where I kind of, teach you guys, and it's pretty sick. If you're not in there, you're gay. So yeah, that's gonna be the goals. I think like $1 million a month profit. As we start to ramp up, we'll probably start bringing in a lot more team members. Right now, we only have a creative strategist, 2 editors, and then our customer service is obviously automated. But we'll probably bring in I have the strategy I like to do where I bring in like 3 creative strategists. I give them each their own editor, and the best one kind of stays, and it's kind of like a competition. So that's probably what we're gonna do next month. I just wanted us to in-house meaning like the current team, at least get 1 ad to break even, because right now we're flopping hard on the ad side, but at least get 1 ad to break even. We're gonna do more long form statics. I don't know if you guys know what this means, but a long form static is essentially like a native ad. It's like a static image of like something really broad, like maybe like a cup of fucking matcha or something, shout out matcha. And then from there, it basically has like a long caption of like a story time or something, like the copies in the caption, and it goes to the product page or advertorial, right? So we're gonna try some of those in-house, see how it goes. In-house meaning, again, our current team. And we'll play it by ear. Again, all this stuff I'm talking about in Brandify. If you guys don't know what Brandify is, just give you a little rundown on it. It is our program where if you guys, haven't started a brand yet, you guys are actively running a brand, you're trying to get into e-com, whatever it is, we help, right? The kind of slogan we follow is like, we'll help you start, scale, and even sell your own brand. We have brokers in there and everything as well. I'm always active in there. If you guys want to be, more close one-on-one with me, we have coaches, we have everything. Like, I think our daily student revenue right now in Brandify is like at least $500,000 a day. Like, I know that sounds fucking crazy to say, but at least $500,000 a day. Like, we have students in there doing 100K a day, students doing 20K a day. We have smaller students doing 5 to 10K a day. Like, everybody's fucking killing it in Brandify. Like, I think we are top 3, if not top, highest grossing e-com community. So if you guys are thinking of joining any sort of like community or program or any sort of thing like that in 2026 to like really crack e-com, no pun intended, I would say you should look at the facts, because facts don't speak for themselves. Like our facts fucking kill it. Like, bro, we're again like one of the highest grossing communities in the world on any sort of business model. Fuck e-com, any sort of business model. So yeah, if you guys want to book a call to see if you're qualified, link is in bio. Highly recommend it. If you guys like this type of content, you're starting your own brand or you're running an existing brand, it's just like, it's the place to be. But yeah, that's about it for this video. Again, pretty straightforward, pretty simple. Trying to beat the core seller allegations of like just being a core seller. Like, okay, we actually run the fucking business, right? So yeah, if you guys have any questions, just let me know, and I hope to see you guys in the other ones. Peace out.